Sunday morning in Kyiv, a town in Kharkiv region. Despite the rain, locals have made it to this market to buy their groceries and saplings for the coming planting season. It's a sign of hope. A few weeks ago, many of them had considered fleeing the town for good.
Well, of course, my wife and children are afraid, but otherwise, well, I don't know about you, but we're managing well for now.
Everyone's got used to it now. Everyone's doing their best to get by and carry on with life. They just find some positive aspects for themselves, a meaning in life.
Our city was the best, the coziest, the most peaceful. We thought the war wouldn't reach us. You see how it turned out. But now, as you can see, they're shelling every day, devastation every day. Many people have left. We're all hoping for the best, thinking that peace will come one day.
Kyiv lies to the north of Kharkiv, just 20 kilometers from the Russian border. Until recently, it has been relatively calm. Things shifted in April when the town was hit by over 100 drones in 4 days. All the petrol stations were knocked out. We passed at least 6 ourselves. A bank and a cafe in the city center were also hit. As we filmed the damage, another strike nearby. This was a busy Sunday market moments ago, but we just heard a massive bang, and now we can see everybody gathering up their stuff and pulling away quickly. The mood shifts immediately. The center and civilian buildings have been targeted before, so nowhere feels safe. We keep our appointment with Ludmila. She's clearly shaken by the strike we just heard.
I was very scared today, really scared, because it's close by. We've been lucky so far. It's been 4 years. There was shelling, but not like this. Everyone just carried on with their lives. It was scary, but not like it is now.
She shows us the damage her house suffered in April.
I was in the garden when I heard a sound in the sky. A buzzing, whirring sound. It was right across the sky.
She says she was lucky to have been outdoors already. Ludmila's husband is on the front lines. Her 18-year-old daughter moved away after the attack, but she plans to stay.
I don't want to leave. No, I really don't want to. It's always better at home.
An hour later, another strike. This time, we see where it hit. A perfume shop. Shop owner Artur was here 30 minutes ago.
While I was working, planes started arriving in the city. There had already been 3 or 4 arrivals. I just realized I had to leave. I closed the shop and left. And just a couple of minutes ago, I got a call.
And yet, for Natalia, moving to Kyiv to live with her mother feels like the safer bet. This is what is left of Natalia's home, in a village 5 kilometers from the Russian border. She says everything was quiet till earlier this year, but now everyone she knows is being forced to flee.
Just in the last, I suppose, 2 or 3 weeks, they've really started shelling so frequently. Houses are burning. Our village used to be such a lovely place, beautiful, picturesque, green. Everyone was so good-natured. Now, when we meet here, everyone is crying, hugging each other, kissing. We were like one big family in the village. Everyone knew each other. It's very hard to leave with nowhere to go and nothing to take.
Natalia insists her village has no military installations. What she describes fits a pattern. Russian strikes on homes in villages and on civilian infrastructure in towns, making these Ukrainian-controlled territories unlivable. These attacks have brought the small town of Pechinihy into focus. It lies about 40 kilometers from the fighting in Vovchansk in the north and Kupiansk in the east. In 2022, Russian forces had come up right to the outskirts of Pechinihy. Though it's a town of just 5,000 people, it matters as it is home to critical infrastructure. The footage you're about to see has been cropped and restricted for security reasons. We're at the Pechinihy reservoir that has been repeatedly attacked by the Russians. The most recent attack was only a month ago when 6 guided aerial bombs were dropped here. Now, this reservoir supplies water to over 1 million people in Kharkiv, and Ukraine called this attack an act of ecocide. The attacks came days after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that Russia is likely to ramp up strikes on water infrastructure.
When the liberation was underway in the autumn of 2022, they wanted to destroy it so that the water would flood part of the Kharkiv region and leave the city of Kharkiv without drinking water, and so that there would be flooding here and our troops wouldn't advance any further.
Signs of the heavy assault on Pechinihy dot the streets of the small town. But Yuri Marinenko tells us that the pressure has definitely increased. He's confident the dam is well defended, but they're also prepared for all eventualities.
For some time now, here in Pechinihy, there have been evacuation plans listing the streets, families and house numbers that will be affected by the flooding. And first and foremost, God forbid anything happens, it will be horrific here. Although not all of Pechinihy itself will be flooded. There are specific streets and specific houses from which people will need to be evacuated urgently.
It's not just major reservoirs under threat. Most Ukrainian towns and cities depend on a centralized water supply system, many already aging before the war. Further damage and incessant attacks in frontline towns make repairs impossible. Izium was liberated from Russian occupation in 2022. It now lies about 30 kilometers from the front line and is a critical link in the supply chain. That is well within the range of Russian FPVs. As attacks intensify, the city is setting up new drone nets. In these conditions, Yuri is responsible for ensuring the quality of Izium's water.
There were difficulties at first. There were a lot of broken pipes throughout the network. I myself returned to Izium in April 2023. We had to restore the pipelines, the pumping stations, the power grid, everything.
They've come up with an unusual solution to keep the water drinkable: chlorine tablets.
1 tablet is for disinfecting 10 cubic meters of water. The pumping station currently supplies around 5,000 cubic meters a day. In the summer, it will be around 7,000 cubic meters a day.
These are normally used by hikers or are found in emergency kits. But Yuri has been using these for years for the city's supply.
Things have gotten worse now. It's cutting us off from everything. The voltage, the lack of power supply, and some technical issues with the chlorination unit. The tablets are our lifeline right now.
Pouring a solution of 60 chlorine tablets into the city's supply 3 to 4 times a day is currently easier than trying to carry out extensive repairs under constant fire and power outages. Elsewhere, NGOs are stepping in to support frontline towns with water supplies under pressure. The town of Zarozhne lies roughly 30 kilometers from heavy fighting in Vovchansk. Its main water supply was damaged during earlier attacks. This fits the norm of centralized water supplies across Ukraine, and the consequences of it being knocked out completely can be dire.
велика кількість населення
Immediately,
підвигається
a
ризику.
very large proportion of the population is at risk of being left without even basic hygiene facilities.
Гігієни. Тому
This is why centralization is needed, precisely to break down these micro networks. This applies to water, electricity, and heating.
І там опалення.
East SOS is among a group of NGOs supporting frontline towns to set up autonomous wells. Generators help solve for power outages caused by attacks. The stakes feel even higher for Ludmila. Her work as a school teacher was disrupted by the war. Now, her garden is a source of inspiration for the creative center she works at and a source of relaxation.
You can have a look. This beauty also needs water, you understand? Well, I enjoy doing this.
Her water supply was disrupted for 6 weeks, so she keeps backups handy.
It's just in case there's no electricity. I'm storing rainwater, in case there's no water for a long time. Earlier, I didn't even think about it. When you have all the comforts, you don't even think about it.
The rumble of glide bombs rings out regularly here, like a distant thunder. Ludmila says she has no intention to leave. It's what we've repeatedly heard in every city we've visited. Despite the circumstances, there's nowhere else to go, and home is home. But there's also a quiet resignation. If things keep getting worse, the choice may be taken away from them.
Anyone and anything remain.
Did she say what happened to her?